Hello, my lovelies. It is time for round 65 of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this works, you get to help pick my TBR or pick books to go onto my TBR for the upcoming month. So I go back and I react to a haul that's over 3 years ago, and I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled the book. And out of all the books that I still own that I have not read, you get to vote what book or books you want me to read or add to my TBR. And I will pick the top voted books for, if I have 1 to 10 unread that I still own, I'll pick the number 1 voted book. If I have 11 to 20, I'll pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. So also you can vote for as many books as you want to. Like, I'll just pick the top however many. Anyway, today we're going to be reacting to my book outlet haul, August 2019. This is a longer one from all the others that I've done this month, so I'm a little nervous. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have another book outlet haul for you, so stay tuned. So today I have 2 boxes from Book Outlet to show you. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so in my first box we have my receipt, and we have paper. Okay, so the first book in this box is called The Reader by Tracy Chee. I have read The Reader, and I still own it. All right, next up. Next we have The American Girl by Kate Horsley. I have not read that, but let me check and see if I still own it. No, I unhauled that one. So let me get back to the video. Next up. Okay, so next is the first book in a series. This is After the End by Amy Plum. Okay, I haven't read this one. Let me see if I still own it. Okay, it looks like I do still own this one. This says, Amy Plum follows up her internationally best-selling Die For Me series with the engrossing, fast-paced adventure. When Juno discovers that everything she's been raised to believe about her life is a lie, she has no choice but to set out into an unknown world to rescue her family. World War III has left the world ravaged by nuclear radiation. A lucky few escaped to the Alaskan wilderness. They survived for the last 30 years by living off the land, being one with nature, and hiding from whomever else might still be out there. At least this is what Juno's been told her entire life. When Juno returns from a hunting trip to discover that everyone in her clan has vanished, she sets off to find them, leaving the boundaries of their land for the first time. She learns something horrifying. There never was a war. Cities were never destroyed. The world is intact. Everything was a lie. Now Juno is adrift in a modern-day world she never knew existed. But while she's trying to find a way to rescue her friends and family, someone else is looking for her. Someone who knows the extraordinary truth about the secrets of her past. So if you want me to read this, vote After the End. All right, next up. Okay, next up is Defiance by C.J. Redwine. I can't remember if I ever read Defiance or not. Let me look. Okay, it looks like I haven't read it. This says, while the other girls in the walled city state of Balboden learn to sew and dance, Rachel Adams learns to track and hunt. While they bend like reeds to the will of their male protectors, she uses hers for sparring practice. When Rachel's father fails to return from a courier mission and is declared dead, the city's brutal commander assigns Rachel a new protector. Her father's apprentice, Logan, the boy she declared her love to and who turned her down 2 years before. Left with nothing but fierce belief in her father's survival, Rachel decides to escape and find him herself. As Rachel and Logan battle their way through the wasteland, stalked by a monster that can't be killed and an army of assassins out for blood, they discover romance, heartbreak, and a truth that will incite a war decades in the making. So if you want me to read this, vote Defiance. Alright, next up.
Okay, next up we have The Distance Between Lost and Found by Catherine Holmes.
I'm not sure about this one. Okay, this is one that I still own that I have not read. Okay. This says, blending elements of Laurie Halse Anderson's Speak and Gary Paulson's Hatchet, this gripping story from Catherine Holmes was deemed a page-turner by author Richard Peck and an intense story of survival by ALA Booklist in its starred review. Sophomore Hallie Calhoun has just endured the most excruciating 6 months of her life. Once the rumors about her and the preacher's son, Luke, made their way around school, her friends abandoned her, and as a result, Hallie has completely withdrawn. Now on a hiking trip in the Smoky Mountains with the same people who have relentlessly taunted her, Hallie is pushed to her limit. Then Hallie, outgoing newcomer Rachel, and Jonah, Hallie's former friend, get separated from the rest of the group. As days go by without rescue, their struggle for survival turns deadly. Stranded in the wilderness, the three have no choice but to trust one another in order to stay alive. And for Hallie, that means opening up about what really happened that night with Luke. From the catty atmosphere of high school to the unpredictable terrain of the mountains, this novel is a poignant, raw journey about finding yourself after having been lost for so long. So if you want me to read this, vote The Distance Between Lost and Found. Alright, next.
Okay, next up is 10 by Gretchen McNeil.
I have read that and I still own it. Next.
Okay, next up I have A Conspiracy of Blood and Smoke by Anne Blankman.
I do believe I still own this one and I haven't read it. Let me double check. Okay, I do. However, that's book 2 in a duology. Book 1 is Prisoner of Night and Fog, which I also own. And this says, in 1930s Munich, danger lurks behind dark corners, and secrets are buried deep within the city. But Gretchen Mueller, who grew up in the National Socialist Party under the wing of her uncle, Dolph, has been shielded from that side of society ever since her father traded his life for Dolph's, and Gretchen is his favorite, his pet. Uncle Dolph is none other than Adolf Hitler, and Gretchen follows his every command, until she meets a fearless and handsome young Jewish reporter named Daniel Cohen. Gretchen should despise Daniel, yet she can't stop herself from listening to his story, that her father, the adored Nazi martyr, was actually murdered by an unknown comrade. She also can't help the fierce attraction brewing between them, despite everything she's been taught to believe about Jews. As Gretchen investigates the very people she's always considered friends, she must decide where her loyalties lie. Will she choose the safety of her former life as a Nazi darling, or will she dare to dig up the truth, even if it could get her and Daniel killed? From debut author Anne Blankman comes this harrowing and evocative story about an ordinary girl faced with the extraordinary decision to give up everything she's ever believed and to trust her own heart instead. So if you want me to read this, vote Prisoner of Night and Fog. Alright, next up.
Okay, next we have Seeker by Arwen Elise Dayton.
I'm not sure about this one. I unhauled that one. Alright, let me get back to the video. Next.
Okay, next up is My Last Kiss by Bethany Neal.
I don't know. Okay, that is one that I still own and I have not read. This says, what if your last kiss was with the wrong boy? Cassidy Haynes remembers her first kiss vividly. It was on the old covered bridge the summer before her freshman year with her boyfriend of 3 years, Ethan Keyes. But her last kiss, the one she shared with someone at her 17th birthday party the night she died, is a blur. Cassidy is trapped in the living world, not only mourning the loss of her human body, but left with the grim suspicion that her untimely death wasn't a suicide as everyone assumes. She can't remember anything from the weeks leading up to her birthday, and she's worried that she may have betrayed her boyfriend. If Cassidy is to uncover the truth about that fateful night and make amends with the only boy she'll ever love, she must face her past and all the decisions she made, good and bad, that led to her last kiss. Bethany Neal's suspenseful debut novel is about the power of first love and the haunting lies that threaten to tear it apart. So if you want me to read this, vote My Last Kiss. All right, next up.
Okay, so the last book in this box is actually pretty small. It's What We Knew by Barbara Stewart.
I'm not sure about this one either. And I said that was the last book in that box, but I'm pretty sure there's another box because we're not even at the halfway point of the video. Okay, I unhauled that one. All right, next up.
On to the next box. So the first thing I see in here is The Voice on the Radio by Carolyn B. Cooney.
I have unhauled that. I started reading that one. That's like book 3, I think, in the Janie Johnson series. I ended up DNFing it and then unhauled the rest of the series. All right, next.
Okay, so this next set that's in this box is it's a box set. And I was really surprised that I came across this on Book Outlet, so I snatched it up because I don't have these books and I hear a lot of people talk about them and love, love, love them. So I wanted to get them and check them out. And that is the Six of Crows duology.
I know I read Six of Crows. I can't remember if I read Crooked Kingdom or not. Let me check. Yes, I did read that. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad. All right, yay. All right, next up.
And speaking of the Grishaverse, I also got Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo.
I've read Shadow and Bone. Next.
Okay, next up we have Unbound by Neil Shusterman.
Let me see where that is in the series. I've pretty much read the whole series, but I want to say that there was something extra. I can't remember. Hold on. Okay, I did read it. Cool. Okay, yay. And I still own it. All right, next.
Okay, so in the first box that I opened, I had After the End by Amy Plum. And in this box, we have Until the Beginning by Amy Plum, which is the sequel to After the End.
Which I haven't read that since I haven't read After the End. All right, next.
The next book is another sequel, and that is Enders by Lisa Price.
I don't think I have read Starters or Enders, but Enders is the one that I hauled in this video. So I'm going to mark 1 for unread, and let me pull up Starters because I'm pretty sure I do own this, that I still own this. This says, you can't get them out of your head. Callie lost her parents when the Spore Wars wiped out everyone between the ages of 20 and 60. She and her little brother Tyler go on the run, living as squatters with their friend Michael and fighting off renegades who would kill them for a cookie. Callie's only hope is Prime Destinations, a disturbing place in Beverly Hills run by a mysterious figure known as the Old Man. He hires teens to rent their bodies to Enders, seniors who want to be young again. Callie, desperate for the money that will keep her, Tyler, and Michael alive, agrees to be a donor. But the neurochip they place in Callie's head malfunctions and she wakes up in the life of her renter. Callie soon discovers that her renter intends to do more than party and that Prime Destination's plans are more evil than she could ever have imagined. So if you want me to read this, vote Starters. All right. No, I'm not going to say it. Don't want to jinx myself. Next up.
Next we have Sublime by Christina Lauren.
I have not read this. Pretty sure I still have it, but let me check. I do still own this one. This says, True love may mean certain death in a ghostly affair of risk and passion. From New York Times bestselling duo Christina Lauren, authors of Beautiful Bastard. When Lucy walks out of a frozen forest wearing only a silk dress and sandals, she isn't sure how she got there. But when she sees Colin, she knows for sure that she's here for him. Colin has never been captivated by a girl the way he is by Lucy. With each passing day, their lives intertwine, and even as Lucy begins to remember more of her life and her death, neither of them are willing to give up what they have, no matter how impossible it is. And when Colin finds a way to physically be with Lucy, taking himself to the brink of death, where his reality and Lucy's overlap, the joy of being together for those brief stolen moments drowns out everything in the outside world. But some lines weren't meant to be crossed. So if you want me to read this, vote Sublime. All right, we're up to 7 so far, but we're getting close to the end. Next up.
Okay, next up is A Fierce and Subtle Poison by Samantha Mabry.
I'm not sure. Hold on. I have unhauled that one. All right, next.
And then the last book in this box is No Such Person by Carolyn B. Acuni.
I have to check. I also unhauled that one. So only 7. Cool. All right, so comment down below which book or books you want to vote for, and you can vote for as many as you like. Ooh, you can vote for as many as you like, and I'm just going to pick the #1 voted book. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye.